So you're deciding to join Vipassana and you clicked on this video because you've learned that a lot of people leave the course. And I kid you not, it's true, a lot of people leave the course because of its very intense nature. I actually went to a course here in Ho Chi Minh City. There were 80 students and 10% of them are foreigners. There was 6 men and 3 women. And by the end of the course, I noticed that 2 of the men weren't in the last day of the course already. So among the foreigners, 2 left. I think not a single of the local meditators left. So yeah, that's a very good turnout actually. Only 2 left. I've heard that in other videos, 25% of the meditators leave. And for several reasons actually, but from watching the feedback of those who have left, I've categorized the reasons why they left the course, and they are physical, mental, and psychological. So these things could pose as a barrier for someone to not finish the course. So let's dig deeper. First one is physical. You already know, probably from your research and from learning from friends, that it's a very intense course. You wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, you start the meditation at 4:30, and you end at 9 p.m. with breaks in the middle, and all you do is sit down and meditate. And from sitting down, you could feel all of the pain coming out from your body. And yes, that's not a very easy thing to overcome, especially if you're someone who likes to move. I happen to like sitting down, so it wasn't difficult for me, but that doesn't mean that I didn't feel the pain. I felt all the pain come out, but that is the reason why we go to Vipassana, to make sense of the pain that we have, either that be physical or mental pain, any kind of suffering. To tell you, there are actually, or most of the people who go there have either a physical or mental pain or suffering, kind of suffering that they carry with them, which gets unloaded by the end of the course if they're successful at it. I have a classmate who had a problem with her shoulder, so she was wearing a kind of a cast to be able to go through the course, and some needed back support, to support maybe their aching lumbar or something like that, and they were able to get through the course. So this level of barrier, the physical pain barrier, is the easiest thing to overcome. It gets more difficult if your barrier is psychological. And I'd like to warn you that if you have a trauma that's unresolved or that you haven't come to terms with yet, I'm not sure if you'll ever come to terms with the trauma anyway, but yeah, the point is, you're going to dig deep into your memory, and how you do that is day by day you increase your focus from breathing, from feeling the sensation here. And once you have sharpened your focus from feeling the sensation on this part of your body, you go deeper to the sensations all over your body, the surface sensations. This time you could feel either itching, tingling, hot, or cold, or warm. So those are surface level sensations. And a lot of things will come to your mind. A lot of thoughts will pass through your mind. Fantasies, fear, lots of emotion will come out. And from the surface feelings or the surface sensations that you feel on your body, the teacher would ask you to feel deeper, feel deeper into your body. And you'll get to experience that when you go to the course. I won't tell you how, but that is how it's done. But as you dig deeper, lots of pain will come out as well. That's coming more from the inner parts of your muscles, maybe. And lots of memories would come out too. And some cannot handle their memories, some cannot handle their trauma. But that is the purpose of going to Vipassana. You go there to be able to watch these painful memories, to be able to come to terms with your feelings of anger, of fear, of sadness, and see that these feelings, these pains, they're just, passing by, and they'll eventually change. But it could be very difficult for someone. So if you have that, prepare for that. Make sure that when you go to Vipassana, you'll go back to those painful memories, and that you're prepared for dealing with these kind of sensations as well as emotions that will arise in your body. Because they also don't have psychological support there, it might also be difficult for you to go and sit down again. And it's a non-profit organization, and most of the centers don't have that support, but that is the reason why you go there anyway. They're kind of support in a way. It's kind of a tool. So you better make sure that that's something you can deal with. And the third reason is mental. I have read a lot of comments and even watch YouTube videos, and two of the things that stuck with me was this comment on sin, and the other one was on sectarianism. So in the first days, I can't remember which discourse Goenka, the teacher, discussed about sin. And this lady in the comment, I'm not sure if it's I read it in Reddit or in YouTube. She said that she left when she heard the word sin. And I thought, actually, that's your projection of the word sin. Maybe you learned sin this way, like the way I learned it as well, that if you do something wrong, you get punished, or you get judgmental over other people. In the later discourses of Goenka in the course, he explained that sin is doing something to your body or to your surroundings, to your environment, to other people that causes disharmony. If you drink alcohol, you cause disharmony to your body, and that's sin. That's sinful. Or if you lie to another person, if you steal, that is also sinful. And I think that's a very sensible way to look at sin, rather than having a dogma that the 10 Commandments, that if you break that it's sinful. That's become really dogmatic. And I also share the aversion towards dogmatic teachings, and maybe even saying that same-sex marriage is sinful or things like that. So the context of the concept, I should say, the concept of sin in Buddhism is when you cause disharmony to yourself and to others. That's a very basic concept, and that makes a lot of sense to me, which this person wasn't able to, dig deeper into, because she left once she got triggered by the word sin. So that is a mental barrier. And one video of a guy mentioned sectarianism, because Goenka would mention that Vipassana is a non-sectarian practice, which is very true. But this guy thought otherwise, because Goenka was chanting Buddhist chants. But for me, when Goenka was explaining what he was saying in the chant, it has nothing to do with anything that I don't understand. He was explaining the changes in the season, that everything changes, that this is what this chant means, birth, life and death, suffering, and things like that. And these are all very sensible, words to me, very sensible poetry. It just sounds different because it's in another language. But I think this guy, of course, had this judgment over the chants as well. So he wasn't able to overcome this mental barrier about the procedure of the meditation. So these are three things that I'd like you to look into: physical, psychological, and mental before dipping your toes in Vipassana. Because when you get in there, you're one of the lucky ones, because there's long waiting list of people trying to get in the course. And it's better to get there prepared and to take advantage of the teachings and of the free services that people provide to you, because it's once in a lifetime that you experience that people would cook for you, you know, and pay for your electric bill for your 10 days, for example. So, yeah, that's it for now, and good luck on your course. Let me know how it goes. Bye.